In the future, humans cannot make a single sound. Everyone must keep their mouths tightly shut. Even taking a deep breath is a luxury, because the slightest noise would bring instant doom. Just a few days ago, a swarm of terrifying creatures descended upon New York. These monsters had exceptionally sharp hearing. Once they locked onto a target, there was no chance of survival. Like the other survivors, Mary managed to stay alive by keeping completely silent, but she had a terminal illness, and she desperately needed medicine to ease her pain. Left with no choice, Will took her out to find the medication, but before long, the creatures picked up on their presence. As countless monsters closed in, they ran into the streets. In a moment of crisis, Will shattered a car window. Using the blaring alarm to divert the creatures' attention, the two of them dashed into the subway. But just as the elevator was descending halfway, a terrifying noise echoed from behind them. They slowed their movements, afraid that even the sound of their footsteps would attract the monsters. When they finally reached the bottom, they realized the underground wasn't safe either. Mary motioned for them to leave through another path, carefully avoiding the debris on the ground. They finally reached an exit, but just as they were about to escape, a monster dropped down from above. Clearly, it had heard them, with the creature creeping closer. They backed into a side tunnel, but the exit was completely blocked. Their only choice was to hide in the sewer. They had no idea how deep the water was. When their feet finally touched the bottom, they sighed in relief. Maybe there was an exit ahead. But as they walked on, Mary suddenly heard a noise above them. Raising her flashlight, she froze. A monster was sleeping right above them. Terrified, she quickly pushed Will's flashlight down, afraid the light would wake it up. Luckily, the sound of the flowing water masked their movements. As they carefully passed by, the creature remained undisturbed, but then the water started getting deeper. Will began to panic. Sensing that he was on the verge of losing control, Mary quickly tried to calm him down, but his heavy breathing woke the monster above them. It immediately extended its head. Scanning for the source of the noise, Mary did her best to soothe Will, and he finally regained his composure, but then a single gasp gave them away. The monster lunged toward them at full speed. With no other choice, they released their grip on the walls and swam for their lives. Fortunately, the passage ahead was completely submerged. The chasing creature couldn't stop in time, and plunged straight into the water. Within seconds it was dead. The two barely escaped with their lives. When they finally climbed out of the exit, they found themselves inside a massive cathedral. They were temporarily safe, but Mary's condition worsened. She was in so much pain that she began vomiting. Seeing this, Will couldn't bear it any longer. He decided to go out alone to find her painkillers. Luckily, he wasn't detected by the monsters along the way. Not only did he manage to find the medicine, but he also stumbled upon Mary's lost cat. Overjoyed, Will hurried back, but just as he was about to leave, the cat suddenly ran into a construction site. The moment he spotted the cat, a monster appeared right behind him. Will held his breath, not daring to make a sound. Seeing that the cat was in a relatively safe spot, he carefully climbed up to a higher position. Just then the monster discovered a patch of poisonous mushrooms. It immediately let out a call to its companions. Within seconds, the entire area was filled with the sounds of approaching creatures. Thankfully, Will had already reached high ground. Otherwise, he would have been completely surrounded. He slowly inched closer to the cat, but in the next moment,